myself, Professor Manjunath Shanapnavar of Department of Civil Engineering, Sanjay Goravati Institutions, Atigre, Kolhapur. So, we all know that the entire world has been attacked with one of the most dangerous virus, COVID, Corona, and because of which we are not able to conduct our routine duties. So that is why I thought that making some of the videos wherein I can cover some of the important concepts from our subjects, which will be very much useful for our student community for their exam point of view and as well as for their knowledge point of view. So in this regard, today I am going to cover one of the concept which is called as CPM, Critical Path Method, which belongs to Construction Management subject of second year B.Tech A and B division of Sanjay Goravati University. So before I start my session, first let me clear the agenda of my session. As already I said, I am going to cover the concept called as CPM, but firstly I will be telling you the understanding, the meaning of CPM, and after that it will be followed by a numerical problem. Okay, so as I said now, first let us understand what is CPM, and as already I said, the long form of CPM is Critical Path Method. So Critical Path Method is nothing but it is a process wherein we can easily determine the longest period for the completion of one project. Again I repeat, the definition or the understanding of CPM is it is a method wherein easily I can calculate or I can determine the longest period for the completion of one particular project. So if I want to understand or if I want to elaborate it in a more simple manner, let us consider one example. So usually in our life we will be having two options. One option is, or what we think is, whatever we expect, everything will be getting to us. That means according to our wishes, our life will be going on. But exactly in the opposite side, what another option we have is, whatever we think, whatever we expect, it will never be happened in the future. So by considering these two situations in our construction management field, we are having this concept. If everything goes according to our wishes, if everything goes according to our expectation, then everything will be normal. But here, as I said, the another condition, if nothing goes according to our wish, if nothing goes according to our expectation, then our things will become critical. So that is what the practical meaning of this concept, critical path method. So because of unpredictable situations, our entire process of construction management will be becoming critical. To determine that at what extent my construction management process will be critical, at what extent the duration will be increased. So to know that, we are having this concept. I hope I made it very clear, but in a very simple manner. Critical path method is nothing but it is a technique or it is a method or it is a process wherein easily I can calculate the longest period, the maximum period which one construction project will take for the completion. Okay, so then as I said, the second part of my session will be the numerical problem. So here one of the numerical problem what I would like to consider is, a project consists of following activities and their durations. For this, draw the network and mark critical path. Also find total floats and free floats. And in the same numerical problem, another given thing is, they have given the activities and they have given some durations in terms of week per activity. So here if you look into activity, the first activity is 1 to 2 second activity is 2 to 3, and then third activity is 2 to 4, and then 3 to 5, and then 4 to 5, and then 5 to 6. And for these respective activities we are having some durations in terms of weeks. For first activity the duration is given as 6, for second activity the duration is given as 5, and for third activity the duration is given as 14, and then it is 12, and then 10, and then 7. So for this numerical problem we are asked to calculate the we are asked to draw the network diagram, and after that by making use of that network diagram we are supposed to mark the critical path. And the extension part of this is also we need to find the total floats and free floats. Okay, so now I will explain you how to draw the network for this numerical problem, because that is what our first task is. Okay, so now here just below this given numerical problem I have already drawn the network diagram for this given numerical problem. So here first let me explain you whatever the activities are given as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, those are to be mentioned in a circle. First I have to draw a circle, and within that I have to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. This is the standard representation of our activity. So now using these activities and along with duration, how to draw the network diagram. So here if you look into the given table, the first activity starts from 1 to 2. That means after completion of the first activity the second activity is going to be commenced, but in between this the duration required they have given as 6. So how I have to represent this in network diagram? The answer for that is, so here first as it is a beginning activity I have to write 1, and that has to be surrounded by a circle. After that I am going to draw a arrow mark, and then wherever it is going to end there I am going to write 2 as a number, and then I am going to surround it with a small circle. So this is the representation of activity 1 and 2 along with a arrow mark. But here if I want to represent this duration, that duration I have represented here as 6. So here the practical meaning of this particular step is, after completion of the activity 1, and if I want to go for the activity number 2, the total duration required for me is 6 hours. That is what was given, and the same thing I have represented here with a network diagram. So now coming to next. So here they have clearly mentioned activity number 2 to 3. So after completion of activity 2, if I want to go for the activity number 3, the time duration is 5. So already I have drawn activity 2 here. So now what I have to do? I have to draw, or I have to represent the activity number 3. But again we know that standard representation. What is the standard representation? I have to write the number 3, and that has to be surrounded by a circle. But to represent it as a network diagram, the activity 2 and activity 3 has to be connected with a arrow mark. Correct? So that is what I have drawn here. But now to complete this step I have to look at the duration. So from activity number 2 to 3 the given duration is 5, and that 5 duration I have represented here. Okay, so then next step, the third activity is 2 to 4. So now here the very important thing is, after completion of activity 2, already one work or one activity we have assigned. But here as per the given data we are having one more activity which has been started from the same end. End means the second activity itself. That is what the meaning of third activity. Here second activity was also started from 2 to 3, and after completion of second activity one more activity has been started, that is number 4. Because of that, again from the same second activity I have taken one more line, correct, with arrow mark, and again I have written the 4 number surrounded by a circle. But here we should not forget to mention the duration. So what is the duration for activity 2 to 4, that is 14. The same 14 number I have represented here. I hope I am making the things very clear. So now let us go for the next one, the fourth. So now what is the fourth activity? It is given as 3 to 5. So already I have third activity. So now I am moving to fifth activity. So from this again I am going to draw a straight line with arrow, and then I am going to write 5 number, and then I am going to surround it with a circle. Then what is the duration given for 3 to 5? It is 12, and the same 12 number I am writing here. But one more thing we have to take into our consideration is, again for next activity, one more activity we are having which is starting from fourth activity, correct? Again, which is ending at the same fifth activity. That is why from the fourth activity also I am going to draw one more straight line with arrow, which is going to be ended at same activity number, that is 5. Okay, but here the duration is different. Earlier from 3 to 5 it was 12, I have written already here, but now for 4 to 5 the duration is 10, and that 10 number I have written here. So now coming to last activity, that is 5th to 6th. So again fifth activity already I am having. So from this activity I am going to draw one more straight line with arrow, and then I am going to end my network diagram by writing 6, a number, and surrounding with my circle, but without my duration it will be incomplete. So from 5th to 6th unit the duration is given as 7, and that I am going to write here. So now whatever I have explained, it is all about how to draw the network diagram for a construction management activity for given data using critical path method. This is our first task. But here this is not an end of our numerical problem, correct? Only we have solved the first part of numerical problem. So now I am going to take you all into second step, that is how to mark the critical path here. Okay, so for the given numerical problem, to draw the critical path within this network diagram, just I would like to remember you the things what I have explained during my introduction part. What is that? I was explaining you about the things which are taking place with respect to our expectation, and the things which are not taking or which are not happening according to our expectation. So by considering these two options, we are going to draw the critical path here. So when I talk about path, when I talk about option here in this network diagram, we are having two paths. We are having two ways. So first way starts with 1 and it goes to 2, and then it will take a small diversion 3, and then 5, and then 6. This is one way of reaching to my end activity 6. But along with this, one more way what we are having to reach from start to end point is 1 and then 2, and then without going to 3 here, I am going to take a slight change. I will be taking, or I will be going to fourth activity and then coming to same way fifth activity, and then I am going to reach my end. So in these two different ways, which way is going to consume lot of time? If you determine that, it itself will be the answer for our second part of the numerical problem. So now here, let us consider the first way, which already I have told you, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 5, and 5 to 6. So now in this way, if you consider the duration, from 1 to 2 the duration is given as 6, from 2 to 3 the duration is given as 5, from 3 to 5 the duration is given as 12, and then 5 to 6 the duration is given as 7. So now if you add all these four numbers, what is the answer we are going to get? 6 plus 5, 11, 11 plus 12, 23, 23 plus 7, it is going to be 30. You please do remember this number. But now I am going to take you on another way, that is 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. So now again for this way also we need to consider the duration. So 1 to 2 it is same, that is 6, but
from 2 to 4 the duration is 14. So now from 4 to 5 the duration is 10, and then finally from 5 to 6 activity the duration is 7. So again, if you add all these numbers, what is the answer we are going to get? 6 plus 14 20, 20 plus 10 30, 30 plus 7 37. So now if you compare the total duration what we have got for first way and the total duration what we have got for second way, so which one is the highest? So now obviously it is 37 weeks. So because of this reason, the critical path of this construction management activity will be 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 5 and 5 to 6. I hope I made it very clear on what basis I have decided this is based on the total duration in terms of week what they have given for each and every individual activity. And here to have this decision I have considered two ways. One way is 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 and one more way is 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6. So in comparison between these two, the highest number of duration what I have got is for second way, that is 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. For this way I have got total number of weeks 37, but in the first way I have got the total number of duration in terms of weeks as 30. So in these two values 30 and 37, the 37 number is taking highest position or first priority. On this basis I am calling 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 5 and 5 to 6 as my critical path to complete my construction management activity for any of the project. Correct? So now the last thing in this network analysis diagram and to complete the second part of our task is whatever the critical path I have calculated or I have determined, that has to be indicated separately. So because of that, on the same diagram, one extra line I am going to draw here, which is going to represent my critical path. You can see here one more line just I have drawn just below the arrow mark, and again from 2 to 4 I have drawn one more line, from 4 to 5 I have drawn one more line, and from 5 to 6 I have drawn one more line just below the arrow mark, which is representing my critical path.